The
Hi,
robot
everybody.
robot told us
This
it
is-
was recording.
um, welcome to the third Whybut series here at the CCC, the Center for Connection and Collaboration. And Whybut stands for What Have You Been Up To, where we ask local area, Asheville area artists what they have been up to. So this evening we've got Mark Hostler, we've got Emily Hay, and we've got Robert Winkler. And we've been having a few technical issues, but we're just gonna do whatever we can do. So we're gonna start with Mark. Mark is actually there in Zoom land
This
for
coming
this
through.
one. We can't hear it.
What?
You can't hear that.
Well, what the heck? Wait, can you hear me talking?
Yes,
Well, then what's this?
I know, it's weird.
Oh, well, damn it. There's actually a setting that
Oh, that one's off. This is
undoes
the only
the
live
I'm
speaker.
hearing it from that computer.
Oh.
I don't
It
think
should
you are
be-
actually.
No, it shouldn't. It's off.
damn it.
Off.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
There's actually a setting that undoes the because it has a built-in muting thing when people aren't talking, and it doesn't know what music is.
Oh, sure, we could have brought a Bluetooth speaker, but.
Anyway, let's carry on. I think it might be coming from Emily's. I'm not hearing anything else.
All right, well, I was hearing when Mark's speaking, it's coming out.
That's off.
This was
It's
off
off.
now.
It's
Oh, it's
off.
off
It
now.
was off.
Now.
It's off now. Let's
Now we
continue.
won't have to.
Well, there is a function in which you can turn off the way it mutes sound and just leaves the mic open.
Yeah,
but
it
I
might be
can't
Emily's.
find
So
it. I'm
that can
not
you?
finding the damn thing.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Does anyone there hold on, does anyone there know there is a function hidden in Zoom where you turn off this mute thing where it mutes it when someone isn't talking. So it doesn't know what music is.
It doesn't know what music. It's not playing that, and that's going to be the issue with Emily's because she was
Yeah,
wanting.
no. What I'm saying is that there is a button within Zoom which turns.
Look, let's just go. We're recording.
Eh,
It started. Let's continue.
yeah. Well, I know, but this is part of what we all want
We're
to do.
on the air.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've been on the air the whole time, whether you were recording or not, believe it.
So Mark.
Yes.
Let's talk about you.
All right.
So
how do you do?
Just to briefly contextualize who you are, what your background is, and your relationship to the Asheville area, how long you've been here, just to kind of briefly summarize yeah, your whole life, like yeah, what your background is, and then what brought you to, well, not necessarily in detail, but what brought you here and your relationship within the context of the Asheville area, and then, beyond nationally and internationally.
Well, my name is Mark, and I am a co-founder of a hard to describe audiovisual collective called Negative Land. And we met in 1978 when I was in high school. Our first record came out in 1980. So weirdly enough, 45 years later, our group still exists. We still do stuff. We're still very active, and we still try to be as strange and uncompromised and take risks, and it's the same way we always have. I have lived in Western North Carolina since 2003, and I live actually closer to the little tiny town of Marshall. It's about 800 people, which was one of the little communities here that was completely underwater. a year ago. My home was just enough away from downtown so that I was okay, but I have many friends who were, absolutely just destroyed by this, lost homes, businesses. Uh,
Yeah.
so, um, and saw the community come together in ways that are so beautiful and incredible from so many different circles of people: the Trump voters, the fundamentalists, the queers, the anarchists, the hippie farmers, the potters, the poets. Everybody came together who seemed to all rise above our differences and work to help one another and rescue our community.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
actually,
beautiful,
I wanted to ask
beautiful.
you about that also, like how, invested you feel in like the local Marshall community.
Oh yeah, well, the weird thing is, for the most part, 97% of what I do creatively is not, it doesn't
Right.
manifest here. It's everywhere but here. Um, but I love, I mean, that the way this community came together in the wake of the flood made me just love it so much even more than I already did. I mean, and given that we're going through now a true descent into an authoritarian, a very dark dystopian authoritarian country. This seems like a pretty good place to be stuck in as we go through this sort of nightmarish thing. So
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like you don't really perform, or do your work in Marshall, but it is the community where you live and are invested in as a personally as a human operating from day to
yeah,
day in the world,
yeah,
which is interesting.
yeah. It
A
started
lot of those people don't even really necessarily know much about what you do.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people do, some people don't know what I do, or they're surprised. Some people I've known for many years, and then one day they find out what I actually do. It's
Right.
kind of it's kind of funny, but no, I love being in this little town, and it's a place where I've lived here. I've been in Marshall proper for. I mean, I've lived in within near Marshall for 20 years. So if I go downtown, I will always run into people I know, chat, catch up, hang out. I feel like I'm in this kind of bizarro world version of a small town America that really almost probably barely even exists, but here it does, and
Yeah.
I really do love it, and it all feels like, yeah, Marshall feels comfortable to me, like I'm in my living room, like it's a very it's a feels like and I think a lot of people who live around here kind of feel that way too. So
Yeah, and it's actually different from Asheville. It's
yeah,
really, and
and
you
yes,
don't actually really come into Asheville that much.
actually, after the flood, well, the way Asheville has become gentrified, the warm, fuzzy feeling I used to feel in my heart for Asheville, long gone. And
Mm.
Asheville, I still appreciate that it's there. I appreciate some interesting artists and musicians and stuff comes through town. Has some nice places to eat. I like the old buildings, but for the most part, I know I never want to go to Asheville. Which is very sad, but because I used to really like Asheville the same way I like Marshall, but
Yeah.
that's probably been at least 10 years. Really hasn't really
Mm.
felt that way. And you lived in Marshall for a while, so um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um, but
Anyway, what?
but but just to
Go
show
ahead.
you what I've been, yeah. So we've continued. Negative Land has continued to perform, make records over the years. We've worked on books, animation, music videos, radio shows. We still have our live collage radio show still goes on, and we lecture about our work. Kind of a little. I get to wear many hats. We run our own record label. We're total do-it-yourselfers, and I think one reason I personally still do this is that I get to be a person who makes kind of normal music, makes noise, makes sound collage, makes soundscapes, gets to work on films, photography, typography, design, work on performances, uh, you know, uh, books, writing, animation. There's so many different creative things I've gotten to. It functions as kind of an umbrella for us to do a lot of different creative things. And I think if I was just sort of a guitarist in a band, I would have quit probably 40 years ago. So it's remained interesting. And as the world has changed, our work, not intentionally, but just in our responding to the world we're in, our work has become more political. And some
Right.
fans,
Well, that's what the work is always about, isn't it? It's like a reflection of what's happening
yeah,
in the world.
yeah. So I don't feel like it's not like it's like the world changed, and so our work kind of has reflected that. And we ended up, but just to, I'm going to show what I thought to do is to show it's a 5-minute piece of music with a video that came out in 2019. And for anyone who doesn't, if you don't know our work, this will kind of give you an example. And then I could talk about what we've been up to lately,
Yeah.
because we just came back from performing at Yale University, which was a very interesting experience.
Cool. All right, far away.
Let me see
You
if
got
this
your
will work.
screen sharing down
Yeah,
now.
so let's see if we got the screen sharing down and it's going to work or not. So hold on. See, where did it go? It was there before. Now we have the. Okay. Hold on. Yes, there we go. So let's see if this works. Again, this is a 5-minute piece, and I would say that this is. I'd say that we've always been kind of critiquing capitalism adjacent in our work. This is the first time we've done a piece that really directly talks about and deals with capitalism in a piece of ours. You'll see, yeah, pretty head on in a way that even for us kind of was a surprise, but also felt inevitable. Like, yeah, this is just going to be something we're going to do. So let's see if this works or not.
Look.
Hold on.
Happening.
Is there something there? Okay.
Something is there.
All right. So let me see if this works and we'll get going.
You've used up everything you can and more. I'm going to turn you off.
You hear that?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You've used up everything you can and more. I'm going to turn you off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm going to turn you off.
Pending final test. Stand by. Mode.
You've used up everything you can and more. I'm going to turn you off.
Speak up!
What if a small group of these world leaders were to conclude that the principal risk to the earth comes from the actions of rich countries? Isn't the only hope for the planet that the industrialized civilizations collapse? Isn't it our responsibility to bring that about? Isn't it our responsibility to bring that about?
1. You
better stop anyone.
Nothing's destroyed.
Pending final
Nothing's destroyed.
pending final test.
We are not destroying anything. It's easy to imagine the end of the world.
I don't know what you're going to do.
Everything seems to be possible.
You may want a chance.
It is Californians' God-given right to water their lawns. You know, there is no way to argue with that.
Do your own research.
No way to argue with that. Except with explosives.
Anesthesia.
1,
Baseball.
2,
You don't think he's evil? Barbed wire.
3.
It's often real.
My life in the woods has been ruined.
Stand by. Pending final test.
This
Wonderful, isn't it? The sound of American inventiveness.
I may go mad!
Think of the future you have.
Isn't it our responsibility to bring that about?
Stand by.
The question is lost in the sound of the explosion, unfortunately.
Creatures that assemble your phone.
It's easy to imagine the end of the world.
Yeah.
Final, final.
We, the rest of the world.
We are only witnessing how the system is destroying itself.
Final, final.
Yeah.
It's easy to imagine the end of the world, but you cannot imagine the end of capitalism.
And the creatures that live in it.
Stand by. 1.
Everything seems to be possible.
2.
You can become immortal.
3.
You can have sex with animals or whatever.
4. You.
But you cannot imagine the end of capitalism.
The ability to live a normal life is gone.
If that's your primary concern, you asked me what was the right thing to do. Here, it's really easy.
Do not delay. Decide to take action today.
I don't have a single American friend.
Yeah, I guess we went pretty hard there with that one.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in a while. That's filmmaker Ryan Worsley who put that together. A lot of the footage, John in Negative Land sourced it, as well as Ryan, and a lot of the electronic sounds in there were made by this. That's called a booper, which we have these are homemade instruments that one of the members of our group, the Weatherman, builds, and this is the one I use when I'm performing and recording. So yeah. Anyway, that's just an example of some of the stuff that we do.
Yeah, and that is classic, classic Negative Land. It's like through all the eras, that you guys have been working, you have your thumbprint on everything, even though the technology changes and the current world affairs change, there's still that kind of Negative Land thumbprint that's on the work.
I hope so, but I also hope that I hope that because we're still making new work, we are really trying to make sure what we're doing is responding and feels like it makes sense in the moment we're in now, not the moment we were in 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I mentioned to you before this talk started that once the election happened last November, we scrapped our live show that we'd been doing for a few years. We scrapped a record album we've been working on for 2 years. I think some of that will be reworked. But basically, we realized that with the new regime taking over, nothing we were doing made sense anymore, and that we needed to kind of figure out, well, what do we do next creatively? And of course, we're living in a world now where instead of some awful thing coming out of Washington, D.C. every week or every month, it's like 5 different things happening a day, and they're hateful, they're stupid, they're racist, they're xenophobic, they're just cruel, they're performative, it's all like a big performance, and yet it hurts real people. I mean, it's so dark that it's hard not to feel that it's pointless to make art in response to it. What difference does this make? Yet I'm old enough to know that art and music and literature and creativity is very important to sustaining people when you're feeling in times that are this, oppressive. And so Yeah, but it's been rough. So that we had a chance to perform in Bellingham, Washington, over the summer.
I love that place.
And yeah, it was great. And we basically came to them saying, we don't know what we're doing. We want to workshop. We have a bunch of ideas. We're going to throw a bunch of shit against the wall and sort of see what we think. We had this Yale show lined up. So we thought maybe we can slowly, because we work pretty slowly developing this stuff, maybe we can start to take baby steps toward creating whatever, some new show that makes sense. And so we ended up, let's see, I can show you, hold on, let's see if I can get this to work again. So we ended up, let's see, are you seeing that?
Yes.
Okay. So we ended up being invited by the Yale Center for Collaborative Arts and Media, and they had some funding. And this is as you were just describing earlier, they actually had a little bit of money to pay to fly us out, put us up, and bring us out. And also our longtime visual collaborator of the last 5 years, Sue C., who's just a genius at doing live visuals that interact with what we're doing with sound. So we all got together, and they gave us a day to rehearse. And let's see if this is gonna. I can show you some of the setup. But we actually, this is let's see, this is CCAM. This is the space that we were in. And this space had 6 completely separate video screens that were all vertical. You can see them on the right there. And they had 6 projectors. You can sort of see them in the ceiling. And the projectors are mounted sideways. So all the images are 6:9, but going vertical instead of a horizontal aspect ratio. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. There's my booper. If you want to see it up close.
The booper.
Yeah, that's some of my setup there. This actually shows. So that's John. That's Sue. Yeah. But that's set up there. You can see with the little mallets and all the pedals and the mixer and all the stuff. Do you see my mouse moving around on the screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You do? Okay, good. I didn't know that. So yeah, that's starting with the booper. From the booper to here, that's all my stuff, which is very hardware based. And then John's got a bunch of 6 iPads and iPhones, and his setup is a little more software based. There's Sue. And John's setup, you can kind of see there. Let's see. Yeah, that shows kind of my whole craze. It's ridiculous. It takes me forever to set all this stuff up and plug everything in. That device there is the same device that Richard was demonstrating a few weeks ago.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, we have the same thing. I thought about using that in this talk, but then because he did it, like, okay, that's taken care of. Yeah, here's just a few more pictures. This shows Sue's setup. And what Sue does is she has a light screen here, a camera pointed down at it, and she has all kinds of fabric, materials, objects, little hands, spoons, forks, metal, all kinds of things that she moves around under the camera, and she processes it to create visuals. This shows that all the 6 screens, you can, let's see if I can, I don't know if can you see all there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all 6 screens. There's Sue. And she's got a cutout of the word ready, which you saw her hold on. If you can see it, that's the word ready. She cut it out using a little machine cutting thing she has at home. And then she holds it on the light box. Light comes through, and then she processes it, and it does that. And she moves stuff around. What else? There's some of the screens. I actually brought out, I haven't played bass on stage in 25 years. And we decided we were going to, given the way times have changed, we decided we were going to pull out an old piece of ours from 1987 called Christianity is Stupid. And we thought maybe this was the right time to do it again. Most of our shows are completely created for just performance. We do almost nothing from our albums, very, very little, maybe 5%. We really do approach performance as its own medium. We don't use it as a way to just duplicate our studio recordings. That just does not interest us at all. And our shows have a lot of improvisation within the structure. So we really work hard to make sure our shows are very live. We want to keep that risk element, that it's still, we want to keep it dangerous. Basically, we want to keep it so it's always giving me an anxiety attack about whether it's going to be any good, which I don't enjoy, but I don't think
that's where your nervous condition comes from.
Oh my God. I hate touring. Everything about touring and performing is the worst possible situation to put me in the way I'm wired. It is the worst. I have no idea why I want to keep doing it, but I do. Do you, what about when you're getting ready for a performance and working up to it? I mean, do you enjoy the whole thing, or do you have
depends
stress
on
and
the
anxiety?
situation.
Yeah.
Very, very situation based.
God, it's just, I know I should be on some anti-anxiety pills, but I'm not. I take fish oil, which actually seems to help me quite a bit. And I always be sure I take like 5 fish oil pills 20 minutes before I go on stage. So I'm peaking on the oil when the performance happens, and it keeps me very even. It's very strange
we've got laughter in the room.
Oh yeah, it keeps me, it just keeps me real even, and I'm not freaked out. I don't like people staring at me. I don't like being on stage, none of it. But there's something about, I love making weird noises. I love getting to work with John and David and the other group members who now are deceased. But what we can do collaboratively, creatively, turns into something that's so much more interesting than anything one of us would do on their own. That is somehow compelling. And then it's very compelling to take this in a way, very bedroom kind of performance thing and do it in a room with people, collectively be there together and express what we express, which again is, our work deals with a lot of very dark stuff going on in the world, but we do it in a way that I think is playing with it, mocking it. It's funny. There's something about how we kind of fuck with all of it that seems to, people who come to our shows don't leave wanting to like slit their wrists. Like I feel like people leave feeling better for a moment. Like for a brief moment, they can let their shoulders down from being tensed down and take a breath. And that seems to be what happens in our show. So that makes me feel good about, what we're doing. Here's some more of Sue's visuals. You can see her working there. I think this shows, there's her table. You can see all the stuff, feathers, little brains. You see those? You see these little hands? Let's see if this shows. There's the word nothing, and she's using it cut out, but it's over a pattern that she has. And then when she puts it on the screen, it looks like that, which is very different than what, the visual stuff. And I'm going to show you, there's another shot of her setup. That's her, down there is her controller to control the app that she's using. A jitter is the name of it. And you see the camera there pointed down. What Sue does is a very wonderful combination of low tech, high tech, and no tech. And I think that fits our kind of ethic and our aesthetic and our whole approach very well. So let me stop sharing and show a couple little short clips. How are we doing on time?
No, we're fine. Okay. We've just got some technical issues in it. Could you turn that off because it's echoing?
Turn it off.
Could you turn that back off again because it's echoing? Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So Sue, Sue has a little hoop that you would use, I think, for doing a needlepoint, and she's got marbles inside of it, and she's got it on the light buck, and she's moving it around. So you're going to see her with the marbles moving everything around, and then you're going to see what it looks like on the screen. And I just think it's let's see if we can get this to work right. Hold on, is this going to work? Nope, that's the wrong video, but oh well.
Did you turn that off?
All right, well, hold on.
Just do it.
Is that it? Nope, that's not it either. Well, we'll show just a few more things here. You can see the visuals and what they're doing. And that's, so she's just manipulating,
vegetarian.
She's just manipulating these feathers, on her screen. And then it looks like, and then that's what the feathers look like when she's manipulating. So just beautiful.
Or are you vegetarian?
Let's see if this shows the.
Something's still happening with an echo over there.
So are you seeing the visuals, the video?
I'm not seeing a video. I'm just seeing the
Uh-oh.
still image.
Oh, sorry. I messed up. Then I totally messed up. Hold on. It's no, it should be working. You're not seeing any video that I'm
No.
showing. Okay. Well, let me try it again. I'll stop and start again and see if I can make it work. Let's see if this will work or not. Now, are you seeing anything?
Yes. Go ahead and start it.
Okay, so that's the marbles. You see there that there's a little hoop.
Mm-hmm.
That's her control screen, and you can see she's got the white flip to black, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so watch as she plays with them, and you'll hear some sound. Well, actually, this one's quiet, but you'll see her manipulating the marbles, and then look on the screen, and that's what it looks like.
Wow.
Just gorgeous. So the audience is very close up to us, so they can very much see everything we're doing with our hands and our fingers, and the way she's manipulating, and she's listening to what we're doing with sound. And she's responding in real time. So does this screen show up now or no? Different screen. Are you seeing a different screen?
We're getting like a band of it.
Huh. Okay, hold on. Do you see this or no?
Yes or no?
I wonder if every time I do this, I have to start over and do another share to show another little clip. That might be.
You shouldn't have to, but
yeah, let's see if this sort of. So, are you seeing anything now?
Yeah.
That's all the screens behind. It's Sue and me. Just John was filming this. This is during our rehearsal. And that's the probably that's the booper, but I have it through a whole lot of reverb, so it sounds real big and spacious.
yeah, it's really atmospheric.
So we got to, the nice thing was that we came in early, and so we had a whole day to set up, test out. We basically ran through the whole show to try out new ideas and the way things had evolved from what we'd done in Bellingham. So let me just see if I can find
That's
maybe.
good that you had that kind of testing ground there, seeing as you were scrapping everything that you were doing, and then you had a kind of testing ground site for the new work.
Oh yeah, it's hold on. We did stuff about climate change, AI, technology, democracy, religion, and how to change a light bulb in your refrigerator.
What was the response like at Yale?
Well, it was good. I mean, it was a curious audience. They were given the shit. I can't get the fucking there. Do you see? Let's see. You see you see the word ready moving across?
Yeah.
It was a kind of a dry audience because it was the setting was very academic, and it felt like the audience needed permission to know that they could kind of just be like, ah, I don't know, but the response was very good at the end, and we don't really stop during our show that much, like for applause. We just kind of go. So it went well. We all had lots of ideas on how to improve it, but it felt like a good, like it was a solid effort, and we've got an opportunity to perhaps perform it, to continue working on it at SUNY Buffalo in New York, and maybe the Portland Art Museum. And then at some point we can do, book some little tours, which is, I've ended up booking them, which is, as you know, I mean, you've set up your own tours.
Yeah.
It's excruciatingly.
It is excruciating.
It's excruciating. Oh my God. Yeah, it's too much. But
So Roger's asking how long the performance was.
Total, I don't know, total hour and 20, maybe hour, somewhere in there.
So you're going to continue to develop this show now.
Yeah. And what happens is when Sue's performing with us, she's recording her, as she's doing a screen capture in 4K of everything she's doing, you know, not showing us, just her screen. So Sue works for Meow Wolf, as she's one of their directors of installations and visuals. And she's has a family, she has 2 children. And so to get her to come and work with us in person doesn't happen that often because the funding isn't there, the timing isn't there. So what we did for the tour that we were doing in 2024, the one we scrapped, is that Sue did a bunch of shows with us live, screen captured all of her clips, and then when we would play live without her, we had a controller where we had a clip, the clip player for each part of the show. Each clip is longer than we need, so it gives us the chance to improvise and to stretch out if we need to. So instead of, see if this makes sense, instead of Sue playing live to us making live sounds, we eventually used clips of her playing live to us playing live, but now we're playing live to a recording of her playing live to us
So
playing
it's like
live.
a big feedback loop kind of situation, but with
Yeah.
a delayed.
But the thing that's nice about it is that even though it is canned, I mean, the clips, they're pre-recorded clips, but because they were her playing live to us, they still look and feel, they have that looseness of a human doing it. It doesn't have a feeling of some pre-recorded computerized thing. And then because we have multiple versions of stuff she's done because every night what she does is different. So we actually have more clips of her than we could use in any one night. So even our visuals when she isn't with us actually varies quite a bit. So that's the goal, is eventually, if we can do enough one-off shows with Sue in person, we'll end up with enough video clips that we can then pull off the show with the 2 of us. David calls in, the weatherman calls in through FaceTime, and that's how he appeared with the refrigerator, changing the light bulb in the refrigerator. He came in live from his kitchen in Seattle. And so he was there. And it works because the funding, as you know, as anyone who's listening to this knows, the funding, the money out there for arts is it's just a death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. It's so bad and rough. So financially, if John and I could just do it on our own, we drive ourselves. It's sort of almost embarrassing how hard it's pathetic how hard it's got to do what we do, even after 45 years of performing. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But we can do it. You know, we still do it, and we actually
exactly.
Yeah, we ask our fans at shows to volunteer to help us at the merch table, because if you can't sell the merch financially, the pay at our shows, and to make a tour work financially and not lose money, if you can't sell merchandise, you're just fucked. You're totally fucked.
I know. So on that dire note, then we'll end your section. I I think that's a good
But I'll say,
good place
yes,
to end. We're
but love it. But I love living where going back to what you said earlier, living here is beautiful. And for my own mental health and well-being and dealing with the stuff we do deal with in our shows, this has been, living in Western North Carolina I feel very privileged to be poor and struggling where I am, and not somewhere, not in a big city. So yeah, I appreciate where we are very much.
All right. Well, thank you,
thanks.
Mark.
Yeah, I'll get out. Let me get out of here. All right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there's applause and appreciation. I'm just gonna turn it around so you can see everybody. All right, so we are gonna move on. We got a little bit of a late start because of our technical hitches of the evening. But Robert, do you wanna go next?
Sure.
Come on, come and sit in the hot seat, Robert. So, And then we have real live objects in real live.
So what?
We have real live objects in
Oh.
real live place. All right.
Okay.
So here we have Robert Winkler. And I'm gonna kind of start with asking you some of the same questions, like to summarize just kind of your background, where you're from, how you came to Asheville, what your relationship is within the Asheville community and into like the regional and beyond. So just kind of put that
can do
into
that.
context. Go ahead.
Okay. Short form is I'm a sculptor. I moved to Asheville. I took a pottery course and I'm a sculptor. Not true. There's a real story. Basically, I've done it my entire life. I did my first sculpture when I was in kindergarten. They handed out balls of clay for all the kids. I made a bear. And I have it in my office.
Wow, we should put it with you.
My mother had it until she died. And I said, fine, the one thing I want from her house is I want to get my bear back.
Oh.
And it's, you know, it's little hands, untrained. It's a bear. There's no question about it. And I've been doing it ever since. Little time off to do some commercial work, but it's really been all I've done. At this point, most of what I do is public commissions. And
So where were you before you came to Asheville?
the center of the universe, New York.
All right, yeah. Yeah. So and how long?
We were in, I grew up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And so did Arlene for that matter. And lived in Boston for 12 years, 25 years in New York. The last 12 years in Brooklyn, in Greenpoint. A
Right, which has
beautiful
changed
loft,
so
and
much.
which became worth 10,000 a month, which is more than I could handle.
Right.
And that's how we ended up here.
Mhm.
And there's actually a loft law in Brooklyn now that protects the artists in the spaces that I put through, but too late for my lease.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends and neighbors are still there because of it.
Right. So also just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what you have been doing or what you were doing in Asheville and what you instigated. You and Arlene both were very active for a while doing the River Sculpture Festival.
Yeah, that was a wonderful, ultimately sadly ending thing. But hold on one second.
Yeah.
Arlene,
Yeah.
can you give me a file folder? I meant to bring that over.
Yeah.
I can do this.
So what you didn't say was how we met, you and I.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we came to Asheville is one, I needed room to work at a little bit less than 10,000 a month. And one of the things I had always wanted to do was create a sculpture park and run it. And I guess it took us about 3 years before we got off the ground after we moved, not quite. And that was river sculpture.
Right.
We met because depending on the year, there were anywhere from 24 to 34 sculptures from around the region. But on the weekends, we had other events, and one of them was dance performances that the dancers all choreographed to the sculpture. You were one of them.
Yeah, I loved doing that.
To me, that was the high point of the whole thing. And it's really designed to be a takeoff on Black Mountain College and the interdisciplinary aspect of that. Unfortunately, we were dealing with the city of Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
and it ultimately, and I felt, well, we used to meet with the city manager at the end of the year. And the last year we did in the city, he said, I understand you had some problems with city departments. And I said, yeah. And I said, pretty nutty. He said, well, it's a bureaucracy. And I said, Gary, I've dealt with New York State. I've dealt with New York City. This is just nuts. And he like, yeah. And that was the end of river sculpture.
Yeah, that's a shame because it was such a beautiful festival.
It was a lot of fun. I
Yeah,
loved doing it.
so there were different sculptures by different sculptors that were placed in different locations. Like there were a couple of different sites, different years, right? One of them
was
down by the river, the
it was
Broad
French
Park.
Rod River Park.
That was
And one of the
beautiful.
disputes the last year we were there was fighting with Parks and Rec Department about getting engineering plans for what would happen if a hurricane came through. And I mean, I literally every morning woke up, first thing I did was went to Weather Underground, said, are we in jeopardy? And everybody knew, all the sculptors knew that if it happened, they'd get a call at 4 a.m. We got to go down and we got to deinstall the places. They were all built on concrete pads, bolted in. And in fact, the pads are still there.
The park isn't. I mean, it's like that. I mean, talk about
it got destroyed.
Yeah, I mean the irony in a way of that, issue that they were having, and that park got just completely decimated. I mean,
Except the concrete pads are still
mud,
there.
a pile of mud, and
There's a lot of mud on top of them, but they're there.
Concrete pads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other year it was on
The
like
last
a
year when
construction site.
after I fired the city, I got a call literally the next day from Reynolds Mountain. And where the shops are now, before they'd been built, that's where we had.
Yeah, they just
It was
cleared the
actually
land.
more interesting space for sculpture because it's on different levels.
Yeah, it was nice all the way up the hill.
People kept saying it reminded them of Storm King, which is, I think you know Storm King,
I see that.
in New York, and that's all up and down and sculpture placed to complement the land.
Yeah.
So
went up and down with that too.
say again?
Goldsworthy went up and down with that landscape with his wall.
Well, he's got the one that goes down into the river.
Yeah, the wall went for a walk or something like that.
That's some place that when I'm in the city, at least a couple of times a year, I'll go up there. In fact, last time, well, not last time, but the time before that I was in the city, that's where I went.
Fabulous.
It's a lot further from here. It was only about 2 hours from my place in Brooklyn. But,
So after the river sculpture, then you weren't having to juggle with organizing events in the same way. So you had more time to actually just invest.
The thing we did the first year, we only had 3 months to pull it together.
Yeah.
The very first year in French Rod River Park. And we did. We had I think it was about a 30-page plan, which we actually gave to the city. And when we closed it, we assumed somebody would take it over, but they'd have to know how to read the plan, and it was in words. And yeah, at that point, when we stopped it, I got to concentrate in the studio again, because it took about 6 months of my studio time.
Right, sure.
Each year.
Yeah.
So,
so what have you been doing recently?
I'm so interested you asked. I have to read my notes or I'll forget what I'm talking about. Mark was pretty good at work. I can't do that. The short answer is what doesn't kill you makes you strong. And that's been my experience the last year and a half, actually. So if I'm gonna talk about last year, I have to go back to the beginning of 2024 to kind of accurately tell the story. After 2 years after COVID, which also is when I didn't get to go to New York again. And we used to go up 4 or 5 times a year. But for that 2-year period, I was doing 4 and 5 commissions a year, large scale public stuff. And flat out, 2 years, I did nothing but work in the studio every day with my assistants. But then in January of 2024, I was told I had to have major open heart surgery to replace my aortic valve, which is the big guy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to argue with him because there weren't too many choices. But the thing is, I had to stop working in the studio. There's no heavy lifting. And what I do is heavy.
Yeah.
And in May, they replaced it. I was at Duke in Durham because I wasn't going to let Mission Hospital touch me. Seriously. And I would have gone to Cleveland Clinic, except Duke was closer. And I was back and forth for a while before they decided they'd do it. So in May of 2024, they replaced it with a cow valve. You can call me Elsie.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, there's there are complications. It's a nasty surgery. But bottom line is my focus for the last year has really been the long recovery.
Yeah.
And getting back in shape, getting strong enough, building up my stamina again, and being able to work.
Wow. So you're kind of re-sculpting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. So anyway, I was basically ready to go back in the studio. I felt healthy enough anyway. I was kind of delusional, but that's okay. So I decided
Well, you have to be if you're an artist.
I decided to go to New York. I said I wanted to retox, museums, galleries, etc. Turned out I wasn't quite as healthy as I thought I was, and I could walk about 50 feet before I'd have to stop and rest.
Oh, wow.
I ran up $300 in cab fares. And I'm somebody never took cabs unless I absolutely had to, because what I loved about the city, other than seeing art, is walking, seeing new buildings, window shopping, watching people, all the stuff you can do there. But anyway, it was pretty good. And then we came back. And the first thing I had to do, I'd been to my gallery in Connecticut, and I have a couple of Corten steel pieces that they wanted to be able to show up there. And so it was the first day back, I went to the gallery where they are here, photographed them to send them up. The next day, the hurricane hit.
Oh. Wow.
It was messy.
Wow.
Yeah, we literally came back in time for it. It was either that and stay in New York while Donald Trump was at the UN. True story.
Decided to get the hell out of Dodge.
It's the annual thing. He was just up there, or he wasn't there actually. I think they wouldn't let him in. But they have the big UN, all the heads of state speak. And he was one of them last year. But anyway, so got past the hurricane, sort of, and I'll go into a little more detail. But in the process, actually managed to do a new seal commission in February, and then a new piece I'm working on now in cedar, and requires a great deal of wine. But
a great deal of wine. Of wine.
Have to. Have to. I'm not gonna work without it. No, it's been tough. One of the things the surgery did was got in the way of my drinking. I'm confined mostly to bourbon. It's terrible.
So it's like each sculpture that you make, you kind of like judge how much wine you were drinking during the making of it.
They wouldn't let me have any in the hospital. Well, I was in the hospital for 8 days. And then I had to go back because there were some complications. But without turning it into a sob story. So anyway, we got back, had the hurricane. I'm sorry, the tropical storm. It looked like a hurricane where I was sitting. The studio was not touched. There was absolutely no damage to it.
Good.
Can't say the same thing for the east side of my house. We got a couple of decks got trashed, trees on the property line falling down, hitting the roof, etc., flooding in the basement. I live in the side of a mountain.
I know,
How does
right?
that flood?
Yeah.
But we had a flood in the basement.
Yeah.
So
But the studio was okay.
pardon?
The
Studio
studio.
did not get everything happened on the east side of the house.
Oh,
And it was nice, but on the other hand, since I didn't have any electricity,
oh, you couldn't move.
I couldn't work. I could do, small things if I used my battery powered tools, but the big stuff, couldn't work with it. And then I couldn't wash anything because we didn't have
No
water
water,
for
yeah.
how long?
Yeah, 8 months.
And the life kind of got crazy. And most of my effort went into, at that point, was one, recovering from this and repairing the house. Because you couldn't hire people. Everybody was busy with bigger jobs.
So you were working on the house.
I was, and people say, can you do that? I said, I built the damn thing in the first.
And you were okay physically.
Well, it went on longer than it should have because I wasn't that healthy. I could work 2, maybe 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
And that was it. Now I'm all the way up to, I don't knock off until about 4 o'clock, which for somebody who used to work until 8 at night. But anyway.
So you were working on the house though without power and water.
Everything was, yeah. No, we used to go, there's a place down Beaver Dam past where that church is. And some guys came in, I think from Louisville. And they had a system to pull the water out of the stream and filter it, sanitize it as it came out. So we'd go every few days with 5-gallon drums, fill them up so we could flush the toilet. And there was one drum next to each toilet. Anything I had to wash, we used that. And that went on until about this time of year. I think it was actually later. I think it was late November. But you get by. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It had to get done. The one thing I did promise my wife, I wouldn't get up on the roof. And I lied. But I hired a guy to do it. And he coming down the ladder, and I didn't see it happen, and he has no memory of it. But I was working on the other side of the house in one of the decks. And I went to my studio, which is on the other side. Well, you've been there. And I walked past this guy sitting on a stone wall. And he's holding his head, and he's got a lump in his head about that big, on his forehead. And I said, "What happened?" He said, "They fell off the roof." And I'm looking at the ladders on the ground. So he didn't fall off the roof, but he fell off, probably off the ladder, but he doesn't have any memory of it. And the first thing I did, he said, well, let me just get my car and I'll drive home. And I'm looking at this guy with his lump. I go, no, give me your car keys. And let's see, we took him to urgent care, the Merriman. And they took one look at him and said, this is way above our pay grade. And so I took him down to Mission, stayed with him until they did an MRI. He was there for 3 days, left before they could do a CAT scan. He still has I see him every now and then. He has absolutely no idea what happened. And like I said, I didn't see it happen. I saw it after the fact. So I don't know what happened. And I found another guy that could do the roof work for me. And it wasn't major, but the tree branches went through the roof. The rest of the work, the ground level work, I did. And then I got back in the studio once we had power. I started working on a new piece.
Was that a commission or
in
just
February?
Yeah.
It was commissioned. I brought pictures of it being done, but I think we're having too much trouble with the technology.
Yeah, they're on the thumb drive, right?
Well, they're on that, and they're also on my iPad.
Okay. Well, you could pull them up on the iPad and then put them in front of the screen.
You think that'll work?
We could try.
See the pictures.
We'll get the voice echo probably
it's
while
right
we're
here.
doing it, but oh yeah, you've got it there. Oh no, because we won't if you're not on the meeting. So
Now this is going to mess things up
I
again.
don't know. If you're not in the Zoom meeting anymore, it should be okay. If you just pull up the pictures. So.
Oh,
no, we
I
don't
might be
need-
able to do it if I don't
use the meet. Yeah, don't do the meeting.
Yeah.
Get rid of the meeting and just pull them up, and then you can just hold them up and we can see them that way. Yeah.
Okay.
So just hold them.
So the piece I'm actually talking about is, unfortunately, these thumbnails are like little. Let me find the first one. That's it. Okay.
So,
Why don't you hold it?
So
Okay.
There you go.
That is the maquette for the new piece.
I don't know why we didn't think of doing this.
It's a model, basically. It's just a fancy French sculptor's
I
term.
should do my.
But it ends up being a very detailed.
There you
Let me move you along. Well, that works much better. That's how we start.
Ta-da.
Yeah, that's the studio.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Do you want to just scoot them?
That's the first step.
Here, I
Yes.
can scoot.
You could actually do it, yeah.
Yeah. So I have to make sure we're going the right way.
This
These
is
are
as it's getting
materials.
assembled.
gathering your.
And these are the materials.
That's when it's mostly assembled.
Big, how tall are you?
That's the little one. It's only about 11 feet.
Okay. They're pretty big.
That's when it was primed. And that's actually the finished piece.
Is that related to this one right here?
This one, you wanna
Yeah, let's.
Was that the one at
So
Cedar?
this, we have a maquette here of, and
it's a piece that has not yet been produced.
Was that last piece you just showed?
Second?
Was that last piece out of Cedar, you said?
No, it's steel.
Okay.
steel, yeah.
Painted steel bar.
Yeah, you
Ah.
were working with.
I
wood,
work
and then
about
you
half
went-
of it's cedar, probably a little more than half is steel.
Yeah.
And then you went into metal more than wood.
This is one of the cedar pieces that Roger's talking about.
Yeah. The beautiful.
That one's in Atlanta. That's just a different view of it.
And that's about.
But this is actually the last piece I did before I had to stop. And it's 15 feet tall
So
and about 15 feet wide also.
how big is this piece?
Well, it
in
depends on how
real
much
life?
money they have.
Okay.
This is one of 4 that I proposed for Georgia Tech.
Huh.
And let me see if I can find the one that we actually did. Anyway, the architect shot down 2 of them because they touched the building.
No, and they didn't want that.
And this is the one they actually went with.
Neat.
Oh.
Beautiful. I want to climb on it.
And then this is the one since I've already done the other one, this is the one I really want to do. And actually it was supposed to have, they had a system for drainage from the roof, gutters, and they'd created a stream that came down the slope and would have gone right underneath this.
Nice. Wow.
So we're still looking for somebody to do it.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a beautiful arch to go over, like some kind of waterway. I mean, it could be a stream or a river or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
just that would be really lovely. Wow.
So it's just
Very
been sitting
cool.
there. But this is actually typical of what I do too, which is there's always a very detailed maquette that essentially at the end, just like this one I just showed you, it looks like a miniature. And it's really where everything gets finalized. We do a lot of drawings, but until you can look at something in 3 dimensions, you don't really know what it's going to do. And the other thing, and I don't know if you've seen them in the studio, but we actually have little cutout people. They're actually women, most of them are women, that I can look through the back, they're scaled to the piece for whatever the size is going to be. I can look through the back of their head and see how the piece is actually going to look full size and how it's going to feel.
Right.
If I thought of it, I would have brought the ones for this. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. We did get the one piece done. But then we finished the commission in April. We had to take it down to Florida. And it was St. Pete. Private collector. It's right on basically the curb of in front of his house. It's a 9,000 square foot house. So it's as big as my studio, my house, this house, and probably 2 or 3 more down the street.
Was that with or without the pool?
Pardon? The thing is, it's a long story why we had to take it down to my trailer with my truck. And one, I wasn't sure I was going to be up for that long a drive. I used to do it all the time, but since the surgery, but we did, but absolutely everything that can happen on the road did. We dodged accidents, we dodged traffic, went through a very bad storm. It tore apart the cover on the piece itself was in an open crate, but it was enclosed.
Wow.
What else was it? Oh, I left out the blinding rainstorm in Tampa. And I've got a 22 foot trailer, and we're driving the road that you cannot see. I mean, it's just totally blinding rain at night. Client calling me every 20 minutes to see if I was coming. And I couldn't really say, oh, fuck off, you know. And then very nearly ran out of gas because I was busy trying to see out the windshield and stopped looking at the gas gauge. And we got to Tampa and found out there are no gas stations around the Tampa airport.
That's not very convenient.
Very strange. Oh, and the other part I left out was when my muffler and tailpipe fell off. I was that kind of, I've never had a drive quite like that.
So which piece was it that you were taking?
Second,
Which piece was it that you were taking?
the one I was just showing you,
That one?
the little one. It's not that little, but. Okay, why isn't this working? It's this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the piece that you were taking.
If I could find it, there's another photo of it painted, but I can't find it. So we came back, rebuilt the truck. And then I started working on a piece that in cedar that I'd started a little over a year ago and couldn't work on it. I did the maquette for it. And we're just now working on it. And unfortunately, finishing up the house, I destroyed my shoulder again.
Oh, yeah, I
And-
remember you had issues with that.
Yeah, this is the third time now.
Yeah.
And they said, well, if we operate, it's going to be 6 to 9 months before you recover. And I go, I just went through a year.
Yeah.
And but there's a lot of cutting. I actually calculated there's something like 90 some drill holes to bolt it together.
And you have an assistant, right?
Pardon?
You have an assistant.
No,
that
not
works
right
with
now.
you. Oh, you don't? So you're having to do
No,
everything.
it's too unpredictable right now. So I mean, I bring people in when I have commissions because
Right.
somebody else is paying their salary.
Sure.
If I have to pay it and the way things are going, so no, I have to do it. And
all right.
doing this with a drill
Yeah,
press
yeah,
90
yeah,
times with a bad shoulder,
No.
not something you want to do.
Ay,
So
ay,
it'll get done. It'll get done. So
Wow.
aren't you sorry you asked?
So is that what you're working on now? That's yours?
I didn't photograph,
your-
I didn't bring any pictures of it because I don't photograph anything until it's done.
Okay, yeah.
And even if I do, it's for me, I don't show it until
Yeah.
it's finished.
That's your process. at
My
this
father-in-law,
moment.
my late father-in-law had an expression that covered that, which I took to heart. No offense to anybody, I'm pre-pardoning myself. We're doing a lot of that lately in Washington. Is never show a fool a half-finished job. Absolutely right.
Yeah. It's
So,
very, very wise.
and then, I mean, I have other images, but I don't know how much time you're gonna spend with that.
Yeah, well, we're about wrapping
we-
up. If there's anything else that you want to show real quick, that would be awesome.
Well, I would if I could get out of this. Oh, this is driving me crazy.
I know, but this is the night of the technical difficulties,
Well,
isn't it?
One of the things, there's so many changes, and I mean, I've done Zoom before, but I'm kind of old school at this point. I've been working on the computers since the mid-80s. But the things that have come up in the last 10 years, I don't pay a lot of attention to it.
Everything
I
gets
do this.
obsolete way too quickly.
If it weighs less than 10 pounds, I'm not interested. So
Okay, well, cool. Oh yeah.
This is
you're
just not
having
cooperative.
No, it's not. Oh well.
wait,
all right, you
maybe
can-
that's it. Okay,
Ah,
here we go.
okay.
So we showed that, right? And that.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a small. You have to do it because I can't see it from back here.
Yeah.
It's
it's very
it's
cool.
an interior piece. It's about 3.5 feet tall, I think.
That's got a
And,
lovely spiral kind of twist. at the top.
It's rosewood, which is beautiful wood, very hard to work with, but gorgeous.
Okay.
Pardon?
You plane it with power tools or by hand or okay?
That's all the stuff I couldn't run after the hurricane.
Yeah.
You get some of that wood at Scrounger's Paradise?
Say again?
Do you get some of that wood at Scrounger's Paradise?
What's in this? Actually, yes.
Yeah.
I don't deal with them much anymore. I haven't for basically since this one was done. But yeah, that's what I got. It was actually flooring.
Yeah,
And we run it through a joiner, we run it through a planer.
yeah.
I have big sanders.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're kind of equipment intensive. This, I'm gonna let you, that was, okay. You wanna do that? I can't, the reason I don't wanna do it, I can't see where I am. That's in, Charlotte.
Right, I know you do have quite a lot of commissions in
See?
Charlotte. You have quite a lot in the Charlotte area, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have 5 public pieces in Charlotte, 3 in Durham, 2 in Chapel Hill, and the rest of them are all over the country. There's a concentrate, I get called because I'm here,
Right.
but I work in Connecticut and Texas.
Let's just show one more and then
Okay,
and then
well,
we'll
let's
go
do
on
that.
to Emily. That's kind of
that's
cool.
my
It caught
favorite.
my eye.
That's also in Charlotte.
That
And that one's an interesting story because
beautiful.
it's in Dilworth, which is one of the communities, and they had run a trolley line at the late 19th century from uptown Charlotte out to this amusement park in order to develop all around it, which is what they were doing all over the country at that time. They did it in Boston, they did it in Cleveland. They'd run a trolley line and then the real estate guys would step in and do their thing. So they were digging up East Boulevard and went right down to the original gravel. And one of the guys from the community association drove by, saw all this trolley track that they were digging up. And he said, put it aside, we'll raise the money, we'll commission the sculpture. And that's actually what this one is made of.
So it's recycled materials.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's in the middle of a traffic island, right in the middle of the park. It was a nightmare to clean it. It took us 2 weeks to get it to a point where we could actually work with it.
Yeah.
But we actually saw most of the pieces are actually stamped. It's 1896 in Baltimore. And we actually got in touch with the original foundry. And
Wow.
the front end of it points to uptown Charlotte, which is where it originated, and the back end points to where the terminus in the park. And
Cool.
we like it. They like it. It's great. Skateboarders love it. And I have a piece in Chapel Hill like that. So actually had worse damage. This these V's, if you get up in the middle of it, you skateboard down and you can show all your buddies how macho you are. I think we electrified them. But yeah, that's
cool.
That's what I do.
All right. Hey, thank you, Robert. Wow, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know, which is this is one of the reasons that I'm doing this, because it's like it really gives me a chance to catch up with everybody and that I haven't really caught up with properly for a while. So
one thing I meant to mention about river sculpture and I left out when we were talking about it was a big part of it. The obvious was to give sculptors in the area a place to show their work.
Right.
And I have thank you notes from people. It was the first time they'd ever been able to show their work here. But the flip side of that was the community, which is typically intimidated by museums, even if we had a good one, they still, and people would never think to go into a museum. And they came down to the park.
Yeah.
And I used to go down every weekend and just walk around. And I'd see some some guy in bib overalls, I mean, really the whole
Mm.
trail. And walk them and say, what do you think?
Mm.
And they tell us, you know, what they thought of it. And typically they would pick a piece and they would analyze it and know what all the parts in it were.
Wow.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. And it was a big part of why.
Yeah.
The other one was when we moved up to Reynolds Mountain. I got a call from a teacher at North Buncombe High School that teaches or taught, at least at the time, at-risk kids. Basically junior high school age. These all kids come from broken families and they've gotten all kinds of trouble, but they haven't hurt anybody. And started them out, the first piece, explained them how to look at it. And it wasn't like, oh, this is what it means. Think about what it means. You've seen these shapes. The next piece they went to, they started doing it for themselves.
Nice. Yeah.
And
yeah.
they had to drag them out of the park. They
Mm.
had a bus and they said, it's time to go. And when I talked to this woman on the phone, she says, how long will it take? And I said, it depends on how engaged they are. And said, it could be 10 minutes. It could be 6 hours.
Right.
And
Well,
so anyway.
yeah, that really is a, you know,
So that's it.
credit to what you were doing with that. Yeah. Oh.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yay.
You know,
Next.
Sorry.
Emily.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna get home by like 10:30 now, so.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
we'll do this some other time or.
Do you want to just hop up here and as
No,
soon as you're here and like
No, I think it's time to leave.
introduce
It's been
you
a
to-
great session. I
Oh,
enjoyed hearing about it.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah. Do you want to tag on to next week's and bring your instrument and just play?
Well, we'll see.
And we'll
see how
have
it
you
works out.
like early
Yeah,
and then you could leave.
it's just that I have a long drive.
Yeah. Okay.
Then on out,
Okay.
because I have dogs waiting.
Okay.
What instruments?
I play flute and voice through electronics.
Okay. So just to for the record, this is Emily.
Yeah.
This is Emily. And she lives out in the boonies. So
We'll do it another time.
and we were actually having some technical issues with the files that we wanted to play anyway. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Thank you
we'll
for
have
doing this.
you.
It's great.
We'll
Hear about
have you
other
next
people's work.
time.
Yeah.
All right. So Emily is coming next time. All right. So I'm gonna say bye-bye on Zoom world. And actually I kind of want a picture of everybody on Zoom first. Can I see everybody's faces in Zoom world? I'm gonna take your picture. If that's okay. Who's Mark? Where are you? Ellen. No, it's not. Mark, are you there? No. Okay, I'm not
Creating.
I'm not really gonna get anybody. I'll just take a picture of the screen anyway. Jolie's there.
Yeah, so hanging in to the end.
All right. And I'm going to, yes.
This way, isn't it?
Yes.